If you've seen my review for the last 2 episodes of this series, then you'll know that I did not particularly enjoy them. But I gotta say, this one was fun. Maybe it will get this show back on track for a solid finish. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and tell a friend. If you're new, check out the rest of the channel and let me know what you think. Let's dive into Agatha All Along, Episode 7. I genuinely thought this episode was pretty cool. It might be my favorite of the season. And it's funny too, because this episode starts exactly the same way the rest of the episodes do. Agatha and Billy continue on the Riches Road to their next trial. And this next trial involves tarot readings. There is obviously an initial hiccup because tarot reading isn't within Agatha and Billy's skill set, so it's pretty evident that this trial was meant for Lilia. But based on the 2 episodes prior, Billy killed her and Jen, except that he didn't. Not that anyone actually believed that he did, but they are in fact still alive. Lilia and Jen journey through underground tunnels underneath the Witch's Road to find Agatha and Billy and join the trial. Lilia continues to spaz out like she normally does, and we finally get some explanation behind it. This is the aspect that makes this episode really interesting. Lilia is an ancient witch. Her ability to read tarot cards comes from her overall power to peer through time itself. She doesn't see time through a linear space, she sees all of time all at once. This allows her to make corrections during her trial. She's able to double back to look at clues she missed along the Coven's journey across the road. The continuous spacing out and outbursts are caused from when she jumps back and forth through time. This is why Jen has to keep filling her in on information that she's already revealed to her. And this piece of this episode makes for a really enjoyable watch, because the showrunners expertly unfold this episode to the viewer through a non-linear fashion, matching Lilia's life experience. And I really appreciated that creativity, as this season at the midway point has sort of become stale. Now, at the beginning of this episode, we see Lilia falling, and it's a foreshadow to her death at the end of this episode. This leads to the part of this episode that I did not care for, but maybe it won't end up being what I thought it was. We'll have to see. Lilia sacrifices herself so Jen, Billy, and Agatha can continue on, and along with her death, she kills all of the Salem 7 with her. Now, we've barely seen the Salem 7. This entire time they've been sort of tormenting our protagonists from the background, and that's really about it. They're creepy, they seem really cool. We continuously are told that they are extremely deadly, yet Lilia takes them all out in one fell swoop. So yeah, they were kind of set up and dropped off in a pretty unceremonious fashion, which is very annoying. The MCU tends to do this a lot with minor villains. I guess you could consider them minor villains. They set these characters up as some sort of antagonists, and then just nothing ever really comes of it. But I guess we'll see. They seem like they're really dead. I mean, they fell on a whole floor of swords, but they're magical witches, right? So, I don't know. More to come on that. Rio finally returns after not being addressed for 2 full episodes. Her real identity is revealed as Death, which I think a lot of people expected. It was also leaked, so it wasn't this huge twist, but whatever, it's cool. I mean, I like her as Death. Now, I know that in the comics, Thanos did his snap pretty much to show devotion to Death, who was his true love. I'm not really too familiar with her in the comics outside of that, but I think it's cool to add a character like this in. She's sort of this mystical, supernatural being. I think supposed to be the opposite of Eternity in the comics. So we'll see how her character is set up and plays out. I'm guessing you wouldn't add a character like this if you're not going to bring him back in future projects. So we'll see. Based on this reveal, I kind of also assume that Death, or Rio, whatever you want to refer to her as, is most likely the big bad of this series, or at least in service to a bigger supernatural bad, perhaps, like Nightmare, or maybe even Mephisto, who is supposed to pop up in Ironheart, I believe. But who knows? It's kind of hard to speculate because we all did this during WandaVision and we were all sort of disappointed. So, I don't know. But look, I enjoyed this episode. I thought it was fun. Due to the nature of the episode structure, it leads to a pretty enjoyable and interesting watch. I definitely had more fun with this than either of the previous 2 episodes. So I hope the steps in this direction continue into a satisfying conclusion, because this has really been an area in recent years where Disney has continued to drop the ball. The conclusions of their seasons, they always feel rushed and kind of unsatisfactory. So hopefully, maybe just this once, well, I thought Loki was amazing, both episodes of Loki, and I thought both endings were great. But hopefully, in this show, Disney won't let us down again.